Good afternoon, everyone. Today we should present our service quality presentation. Here are our group members. And so, first of all, we want to talk about reception. Actually, we can't say anything bad about reception because staff was acknowledged our arrival quick. The staff was able to guide us correctly when we lost our way, and all questions which we asked, they answered in very friendly manner. Next one. So for public area, we have good and bad points. For good points, the stairs was clean and in good conditions. Floor and restrooms was clean and in good conditions too. And the washroom smells neutral. What about bad points? It's decorations in restroom can be more unique. We find it difficult to find our way to the restaurant, and there is no special washroom for physically impaired guests. About environment, we want to say that it was simple but really comfortable. Buffet section arranged nicely, and at the place it was enough for group people to take food. But the small points which we mentioned, it was some stains on the walls, and actually that's all.
Alright, so my name is Joy. I'm going to present the following part. And for food and beverage, we think they got quite tasty food and the food quality is okay. And then all the equipment and food handler arranged nicely and under good sanitation. However, we thought that the type of food could be more variable considering the price is 80 ringgit, and for the for the guest, for the working guest, it's like 129, so it's kind of expensive. And then we noticed that they are quite slow to replace the new dish when the one was finished. Like if we there's an empty plate, they are very slow to replace it, to replace the new dishes. And the next slide will be the hygiene on the buffet line. We have noticed that at the buffet line, they out the underliner for serving gear, which is good. And for the bed side, the underliner wasn't clean by time to time, so it's considered a bit unhygiene. So for the recommendation, we think the hotel should collecting the customer feedback every time after the dining, because in the total quality management, customer driving is a very essential part. So the hotel need to understand what they expect and they can improve themselves to meet their expectation. And focus on the quality of tangible product, like what we mentioned before, the quality of food, which means because it's very obviously and the customer will notice that first of all. And then the dining environment as well need to make sure it's the hygiene and the sanitation issue. And then they also have to evaluate staff service performance regularly to understand like what they need to improve and to make sure the service quality is in a good standard. And then conduct proper empowerment. This point is to motivate their staff, to make them understand what the service procedure, and to make sure the training is conduct in a good condition. And then we will come to the conclusion, and our group member will present their dining experiences. The first one will be Rachel.
Hi, my name is Rachel. So dining experiences in Dorsett Subang, it was really great. But before eating, went for a sightseeing around the restaurant, and I found out that the hygiene wasn't really on point, especially outside where you have the barbecued seafood area. The fish was just sitting aside there, exploring with those food outside. It wasn't covered with the plastic wrap. So for me, I think it wasn't really hygienic during the time. And for the dining experience itself, I found out that I think that the not the manager, just that they didn't check the equipment properly, especially the ice cream bar. When we arrived there, after we have all our meal, we would like to eat a bit of dessert. We found out that the ice cream wasn't frozen, like it wasn't cold enough. So the equipment itself wasn't really good. So need to need to focus on it, on the maintenance of your equipment itself. And as just now the slide mentioned, the buffet line itself, the underliner was a great idea, but then it wasn't hygiene. It looks unappetized at the last area because after people using 5 to 6 times, and you can see there is all the extra thing inside the underliner. It looked very unhygienic. People will have no appetite at it when you are paying a price of 120 for a dinner experience. So I think this is where you guys can improve more. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I will share my my experience on the dining in Grand Subanjaya. I felt was whatever my colleagues say is all our overall group opinion, and I felt that I had a quite good experience in the dining, and just make a point on take a look on the point that I were given. Thank you. Just follow me with.
Okay, so my name is Sharon Brigita, and I would like to give my experience based on the last time dining experience in Grand Dorset Subang. I think most of the comment is already explained by my colleague, my team members, but I want to add on, like when we ate in the buffet, when it was very crowded, so most of the dishes is like finished very fast, but then the staff is very slow to replenish the dish. So that's it for me.
Hi, my name is Faustina. Overall, I had a really enjoyable experience dining at Dorset. However, albeit there were a few minor points that could have been improved, such as food quality and hygiene and whatnot. But I really appreciate how the staff were very informative and very friendly as well.
Hi, my name is Christina. So most of the situations my group had already explained how their experience all over. But I would like to add on one more point, which is I think the staff over there should be more knowledgeable on what kind of food they are serving. For example, like while we arrive on the spot, right, when we check on the dessert sections, there appear that the staff wasn't really aware of like what is the food serving. For example, we are asking whether is it ice cream or is a sorbet. The staff was like jammed at the moment. Yeah.
More.
Okay. So I want to say a little bit more. If we can exclude these small points about hygiene, but actually it's a big point about hygiene, and these stains on the walls, some stains on the glasses. So overall, it was really great because we had a good time. It was comfortable atmosphere, and I can say that the dishes was nice.
Okay, so I would like to sum up our point. And just now, my friends are all mentioned about their issues and their good side. So I do think the staff are very friendly and the food quality is still okay, acceptable. However, as what my group member mentioned before, they really need to improve their professional manner and their English speaking, especially. And then we do think they need to focus on their hygiene issue. And overall, we think it's a very amazing dining experiences, and we really love this project. So it gives us a chance to observe the hotel, like how to conduct a service evaluation. So yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. I will end this video.